गुरुमूर्तये नम इदम् श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये नानाचित्रघटोदरस्थितमहादीप प्रभाभास्वरम् ज्ञानं यस्य तु चक्षुरादिकरणद्वारा बहिस्पन्दते जानामीति तमेव भान्तमनुभाति एतत् समस्तं जगत् तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नम इदम् श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये देहं प्राणमपि इन्द्रियाण्यपि चलां बुद्धिं च शून्यं विदुः स्त्रीबालान्धजडोपमास्त्वहमिति भ्रान्ताभृशं वादिनः मायाशक्तिविलासकल्पितमहा व्यामोहसंहारिणे तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नम इदम् श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नम इदम् श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये हरि ओम।
महादेव 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 महादेव। Are the video audio okay?
Mahadev Swamiji, it is okay, Swamiji.
Om यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तं ह देवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशम् मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। ओम शांत शांत शांति। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंशर्षिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। सर्वोपप्लवरहितः प्रज्ञानघनः प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि। ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि। ओम वेदान्तार्थविभासकाय गुरवे शान्ताय सन्न्यासिने नानावादी नगेन्द्र संघपवये योगीन्द्रवन्द्याय च मोहध्वान्तदिवाकराय भगवत्पादाभिधां बिभ्रते तस्मै भाष्यकृते नमोऽस्तु सततम् पूर्णाय बोधात्मने ओम्। To meditate means to allow the continuous flow of the thought towards one object at the exclusion of all other thought flows. Sajatiya vritti pravaha. Uninterrupted by vijatiya vritti. So then, we are so much used to such kind of a thought process where we continuously dwell upon whether the sense objects or other topics. Yet, how does it not become meditation? Because through meditation, as a process, you expect two things. One is clarity, and other one is shanti. So then, and that clarity means the firmness. But do you observe that by dwelling on certain topics like anger, like, if you're angry at someone or you hate someone, constantly thinking about that person or so, or that event, the anger becomes stable. The hatred towards that person deepens. And this strengthening of a particular trait is what is the result of meditation. But depending upon what is the kind of object that you are dwelling upon, the emotional response that comes also becomes a stable characteristic of the person. If you are going to dwell upon the idea of somebody being your enemy or something or someone that you hate, then an angry person, a hateful person, is what is going to be the stable characteristic. And obviously, this emotion is not something which can be said as to be generating peace, contentment, joy, any of these positive emotions. So there are two factors involved. One is what is the kind of object towards which the thought flow is directed, one. If that object generates these negative emotions, then those negativities will become a stable characteristic. That's why if you are going to dwell upon the idea of vairagyam, which means that I do not want any of these objects. My happiness is not dependent, my joy is not dependent on any object, situation, person, anything. To that extent, the joy, the peace will become stable, independent of objects, people, or situations. So what is the kind of object that you are dwelling upon that will strengthen that emotion that, in you, and our attachment towards that object will be strengthened, and also the emotion which comes in response to dwelling on that object will also become stable. That's why it is very, very important that we choose what is it that we dwell upon. Hence, Bhagavan Shri Krishna, without hesitation, uses the word dhyayato vishayan pumsaha. When a person meditates, dwells upon the objects of senses, etc. Over there, he has no hesitation on saying people are meditating, the person is meditating on the objects. Means what? It simply means that with the idea that this object is supposed to deliver me happiness, make me happy, hence I am dwelling on that object. Naturally, what does it lead to? Sangasteshu pajayate. A deep attachment, dependence grows on that object. That's why it is important to know what is it that one is meditating upon. And hence, what should be meditated upon is also an important part when we practice meditation. So the process of meditation, in simple words, would mean dwelling upon something. But what is that something on which one allows the mind to hover on is also equally important when you take up meditation as a practice. Because sangaha teshu upajayate, sangahat sanchayate kamaha, kamat krodho vijayate. Now that we have understood that it is Paramatma who should occupy that seat where the continuous flow of thought, to whom this continuous flow of thought will be directed. And therefore, whether it is Saguna Sakar, Bhagavan, और सगुण निराकार ईश्वर और निर्गुण निराकार परमात्मा ब्रह्म वस्तु is the object of our meditation. Because everything that is mangala, everything that is auspicious, is abundantly, in fullest measure, present in Parameshwara. No doubt whether it does not matter whether Parameshwara is seen, understood as Nirguna Nirakara or Saguna Nirakara or Saguna Sakara. When you say Saguna Sakara, we mean with attributes and with a form. Then the one who is with the attributes and with a form is the one who is with attributes, but even without form. The one who is formless is also without the attributes. And therefore, that Nirguna Nirakara Paramatma alone is Saguna Sakara Bhagavan for the devotee without any difficulty. Hence, when we begin the process of meditation too, by bowing down at the feet of the teacher, and the teacher who is the present form, in the form that the Ishta Devata, that Bhagavan has arrived, whether it is Shri Rama or Krishna or Bhagavan Shiva, does not matter. Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine. The one who now appears in all the three forms, and therefore the oneness is not opposed by number of forms. That one was Ekavastu, that same Parameshwara in various forms is not difficult to be cognized, to be understood. So by bowing down at the feet of the teacher and the Ishtadevata, who is now that form who has arrived as teacher, and this Ishtadevata, Shri Krishna or Shri Rama, Bhagavan Shankar, they are he is the Jagat Karanam, and that Jagat Karanatva also is only conditional attribute. So Sagunatva, which is there in Ishvara, is only a conditional attribute. So now, in order to comprehend this fact and allow this fact to sink into the deepest parts of your heart, where the ignorance and the army of ignorance, namely Kama, Krodha, etc., who are dwelling in the deepest recesses of the heart, can be flushed out. Therefore, now let us start the practice of meditation itself. Even before we do that, an instruction. So most of you have been following the Tatvanusandhanam, wherein the teacher explained how that should be done. Upasana should be done. In Upasana, Dhyana is a very important factor. So all the names and forms of this world are nothing but Panchikrita Panchamahabhuta, nothing else. Certain names and certain forms may be important to you, some of them are known and insignificant to you. Known or unknown, everything, all the names and forms are nothing but Panchikrita Panchamahabhuta. These Panchikrita Panchamahabhutas are also nothing but the Tamasa Amsha of the Panchamahabhutas. So ultimately, what do you have? Only the Panchamahabhutas with the three gunas. Then after, from the Sattva Guna Amsha of the Panchamahabhutas, the Jnanendriyas are born. The Samashti Jnanendriyas is the whole, and the Jnanendriyas which you have is the part of that whole. So Jnanendriya is one, Chakshurindriya is one. But when it becomes available in the human body, now this becomes the individual faculty of seeing. Shravanendriya, so also every indriya. Karmendriyas and the pranas are the modifications of the Rajogunamsha. Thus now finally what do you have is only the three gunas. These three gunas are called as Maya. This Maya is nothing but Ajnanam with Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti, Vikshepa Shakti. The Ajnanam cannot be there without the conscious substratum. This conscious substratum is what Brahman is, and that is what is the meaning of I, because I am that conscious being. Thus, this is called as the Vilapanam. Vilapanam. Tadvyatirekena tadabhava nishchayaha. That nishchaya means certainty. It means firmness too. So those who are manda prajnas and therefore will have to follow the upasana, for them this is the process. The jnanendriyas, the bodies, various bodies, forms are dissolved in the tamasamsha of the Panchamahabhutas. The tamasamsha is nothing but the part of the Trigunatmaka Panchamahabhutas. These Panchamahabhutas are nothing but the Trigunatmaka Maya. This Maya is nothing but the ignorance in a particular form. When the ignorance is there, with the predominance of Avarana Shakti, then that Ajnanam is called as Avidya. But when the ignorance is there with the predominance of Jnana Shakti and Vikshepa Shakti, is called as Maya. Whether Maya or Avidya are nothing but the facets of Ajnanam. This Ajnanam is the Mithya Padartha in the consciousness. That consciousness I am, free from all names, forms, attributes of good, bad, intelligent, dull, punyavan, papi, all these attributes are also washed away. And that pure awareness is the closest possible indication is the thought I am, without associating any adjectives to this I. Ahamasmi Om. Those who can, stay as much as you can dwelling on this. I will request Anand to put an alarm to be started, or you can close the meeting at 7, or you could even close it now, and all of you can sit as long as you can.